Probably not, but we'll go.
Okay, I'll call to order this regular meeting of the Carrabelle Community Redevelopment Agency. It's Tuesday, August 17th, 2021, 1:35 p.m. We're conducting this meeting in the Carrabelle City Hall chambers. Thank you for silencing your phones, and I will ask Commissioner Allen to please say the prayer, and then I will lead the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
God and Father in heaven, we're so grateful that we have this opportunity to serve this wonderful city you've given us. We ask you to be with us in all wisdom and understanding, that we might accomplish most for what's in your purpose as well as what's good for our community. We ask this in the name of your Son. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Keisha, would you do the roll call, please?
Courtney's going to do it. I got my computers.
Okay.
Commissioner Millender?
Here.
Mayor LaPaz?
Here.
Commissioner Allen?
I think so.
Commissioner
Here.
Brown?
Here.
And then we have Commissioner Mathis, who is out. And we will discuss the other two members shortly.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the July 20, 2021 CRA regular meeting minutes. Do we have a motion regarding that?
Motion to approve.
All right, that's by Commissioner Millender. Do we have a second?
Second.
And second by Commissioner Brown. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, this is the time where we have public comment to speak about any of the items, any items that are not on the agenda. And do we have any public comment? All right, we'll move on to staff reports and to the CRA Director, Ms. Courtney Dempsey.
All right, our Veterans Park Memorial Wall was cleaned this past month. He added a few new bricks and cleaned the wall. That looks very nice downtown. Update on the mural awards. For the FDOT mural on 98, we have submitted application to FDOT for approval, and we're just waiting to hear back from them, and contractors are ready to go once we get that permit back. Now on the other wall, our business wall, Miss Janlyn Dowden, we sent her over an agreement, and the agreement that we sent her was a 10-year agreement. She has signed the agreement and marked through the 10 years. She's asking for 5 years. So I know y'all, I wasn't here for the last budget meeting, but y'all had some discussion and not talking about maybe using another wall, but we need to decide whether we're going to go with that wall. Do we want to give it 10 years? Do we want to try to negotiate with her and do come somewhere in the middle? But I think Mr. Franks is ready to go and start on that one once we have an agreement signed with the property owner.
And so I will just comment here. It's a $15,000 mural, and personally I feel like 5 years is short. He's going to use the type of paint and coating on the top of that will make that mural last maybe. Well, if you put that coating on there, maybe every 5 years that mural would last 15 or 20 years. And I hate to spend $15,000 and for 5 years. 10 years seems fine. So I don't know. Like Ms. Courtney said, do you want to maybe negotiate? Do you think you want to go 7.5 years on that type, or just for $15,000, or try to find another wall?
I mean, I'm fine with the 5 years because, like most things, I don't see it being painted over anytime soon. Even if we didn't do a mural, I doubt it would be painted in the next 10 years. But just knowing her, I don't see her signing for any longer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised she agreed to that.
Mm-hmm.
What if we paint a mural on someone's wall, or pay to have one painted on someone's wall, they sign an agreement for a certain period of time. What if they sell that building? Is that
It would
agreement
be
transferred
in the
over?
sale. They would have to, because they
Does
agree with us.
the agreement say that, Courtney? I don't think it has anything like
Or they
that.
would be default in contract.
Well, or, no, I would leave that to the attorney to determine.
That's just a question that came up in my mind, because you never know, and I'm not singling out any one individual, but they may sell that building. Things change.
Yeah, things do change.
Yeah, things change, and they may sell that building, and what happens?
I don't think there's any entry in that agreement with the business wall owner or on the length of time that it, well, the length of time is 10
pretty
years.
short, if you want,
Uh-huh.
I can kind of go over it. It says this agreement is between General Endowment and the grantor, property owner, and the City of Carrabelle Community Redevelopment Agency. The CRA has adopted a process for the placement of a public art mural on public and private buildings / structures in the Community Redevelopment District. The grantor owns the real property situated at 108 Southeast Avenue A, property ID number, and is willing to make the most eastern exterior wall available for public art mural. Property location shown in Exhibit A. The mural becomes the property of the city and may be removed by either party after a period of 10 years. The parties agree to the following. The grantor grants the city CRA permission to install, maintain, and remove the mural on and from the wall with the design approved with the CRA board members. Mural conceptual design is shown on Exhibit B. Grantor will identify and hold the CRA city harmless from any and all claims, including the cost of defending claims relating to the painting, installation, maintenance, and removal of the mural. This agreement is in effect for 10 years. After 10 years, this agreement may be terminated upon either party upon 30 written days' notice to the other party. Upon termination, the wall will be restored to its prior condition at the expense of the party who initiated the termination. Current condition of the wall is shown on Exhibit C. The city/CRA is responsible for maintenance and, if necessary, repair of the mural during the life of the agreement. The city/CRA shall have the right to access the mural and the wall for maintenance purposes. The CRA may remove the mural if, in sole judgment of the CRA, the mural is being excessively damaged. In the event of any dispute in any manner relating to this agreement, the parties shall submit the dispute to be resolved by binding arbitration. The arbitration award shall be final and binding on the parties in the same manner as the final judgment of a court.
Mr. Hartman?
All right, just two things that sounds good. One would be that we say it runs with the land and we record that contract once it's signed by both parties. That way, anybody buying it would be subject to the agreement, and that should solve that. As far as our concern being that if she sells the property 5 years from now, someone else comes along and tries to paint over it or says that was an agreement with someone else, not me. So that way, when they do title work and everything, it'll show up.
So, all right, so once that's signed, recorded, and then that would show up, not like a lien necessarily, but it would show up when title search is done.
Yep. And is there a description of the property in there, specific, like parcel ID number? Yeah, perfect.
The address and parcel ID, yes.
So would we be responsible to record that?
Yes.
Or with the property owner?
I would say either party can, but since we're the ones really to protect us, we might as well record it. And again, it's probably 2 pages. One. So easy. $10, $12. $10 to record.
All right, we got that answered, thank you.
A follow-up comment, if I might.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not this is me now, I don't know about the rest of you folks. I'm not anti putting a mural on private property. But it makes me think about what was mentioned at our last meeting about the fire station. That's a city-owned building.
Mhm.
I don't know in my mind right at the moment how visible that is, and if that land's cleared off, that fire station may become more visible. It's a city-owned building, that's where I'm going with that, and 10 years wouldn't be an issue. It would be on city property. I know I mentioned the Millinger's west wall the other day, and their lot adjoining the building has a considerable amount of trees on it, and I don't think they're wanting to remove those
Yeah.
trees, so it pretty much cuts that out. But the fire station may be a thought. I mean, I don't know how the others feel about it, but that may be a thought.
Well, I did bring up in the very beginning, the first of this year, I put we had several pictures of
Yes.
potential locations, and I did include the fire station.
Correct.
Now that there's a potential that it might be opened up on the backside, I say potential. I'm gonna go take a look at the backside, but I like Miss Tamara's, maybe that might be a spot that would really be seen. I like Miss Tamara's suggestion to use a picture image of the original fire station.
Right.
And that could be a mural for next year or in time to come. But this gentleman has designed the mural pretty much
Yes.
for this wall. It could be moved, but I don't think this design that we're talking about now would be appropriate for the firehouse. It would look good though,
Yeah.
but there could be something more appropriate for the firehouse that would be in keeping. I really like what Tamara suggested. But we could go back. I would suggest we could go back to Miss Janlin for 7.5 years. Is she worried that she might want to sell the property? Is that the?
She didn't give me an explanation. She just said she would rather have a 5-year.
Well, in my mind, that's the reason why I brought it up. That could be a consideration of any private property owner, not just Ms. Dowd, is the commitment to the mural, and then may have a potential sale that wants that mural gone, And it was just something that ran in my mind.
That's what makes it so difficult to get murals placed in the first, to
Right.
find property owners that are willing to do that. But I would suggest to go back with her and split the difference, see what she thinks.
I'd say we give it a try.
Okay. So do we need a motion to make a counter offer of 7.5 years?
I don't think you need a motion, just direct
Okay, just require
direction to go back and negotiate.
Okay.
And add to the contract what Dan suggested for
I can
the
get you-
transfer of sale.
You send it to me, I can put it in red line.
Is that necessary to put that in there? That you're gonna record it?
We can put in that it runs with the land, and then it's probably just fair to put in, I can put in like saying that the agreement to be recorded, just to be transparent.
I'll go back to her with that.
All right, so you're gonna make a counter offer 7.5 years.
Yes.
And just so that we can get it done as soon as possible, can we make a motion that if she agrees with the 7.5, then we approve it and get started?
Oh, now he wants to hold off till COVID is over.
Well,
Or it
He
slims down. I
didn't
don't know
say.
when. Will COVID ever be over? He wants to.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah.
we said,
Put on his mask and start painting.
Yeah. It's, I think for the hotel roomers, he wanted to wait till school started, he could get a room at the moorings.
he said, if Florida experiences an even more robust surge in COVID cases, can we postpone completion until it's safe to resume?
When would it be safe
That's
to resume?
very relative,
Uh-huh.
I don't think any of us have that answer.
yeah. maybe you could
And
get
he's
a
probably thinking more like
South
the
Lake.
motel than he is
Mhm.
being out there painting.
Mhm. And going out to eat or getting,
Yes.
yeah, getting some food.
Definitely slowed down this week.
I don't know how long it will take. Let's see, we have September. Tell him that we would like to have it done completed before, September the 30th with an invoice.
So should we make a motion that if she accepts the 7.5, that we get started on it? Or do we
Well,
need
we've
one?
communicated that with him. It's in the agreement that we sent him that it would be completed by September 30th. He's just asking that would we consider extending it if need be.
Would we? He's ready to, the
He is
agreement
ready.
is, but he wants us to extend it. And they can't get started, if he's doing another, if he agrees to do it by September the 30th, he'll get it started by September the 30th. He might be on another project right now. I mean, if he wants the money, he'll get it done as soon as he can, I would think. You can make that motion, but the agreement says, right now, the agreement says to have it completed by September the 30th.
Oh, I was just saying, can we make a motion that if she agrees to it, we can give him the go-ahead instead of having to wait until the next meeting?
Oh, no, she can't, go ahead, but, you can, but, Courtney will give him the go-ahead.
Oh, we don't
I'm
need a
sure.
motion for that?
I don't think so. We've already agreed. We've already motioned to
Okay.
do the project and approved the project and funded the project. And we're just waiting on really the agreement with property
I
owner.
think
Okay.
we're just doing semantics here, so.
Yeah,
I just didn't know if we needed a motion, that's all I was asking.
we're ready to go.
Okay.
And it could have already maybe been painted had we not been holding on the agreement with the property owner. Okay, so, go ahead.
So, our CRA conference for October, we went ahead and there was 3 of us that wanted to go, so we booked 3 rooms and made accommodations for 3 people. That would be October. The conference is the 27th, 28th, and the 29th in Fort Myers. This past month, I think it was July the 21st, we got a letter of resignation from Mr. Bo Mays. He was the appointed member. And so that leaves us with 2 open spots on the board.
I would suggest for this, and ask Dan to listen as well, to wait until our expanded district is completely enacted or adopted as of October, and then advertise the district so that we could, maybe get some.
Additional people.
Yes, additional somebody from, with a different point of view, than the regular core base that we've been reaching out to. But, we'll see what you all think about that. Okay.
All right, progress on the facade grants. Karen Brown at 206 Marine Street. I believe all they're waiting on is the doors. Everything else has been complete. Miss Jalen Downing, her windows are still on order. She has not got the windows in, and she says that they can't do anything else. They have painting and everything, but they have to wait on the windows to be installed before they can do the painting. Miss Vicki Harris at 104 St. James Avenue, they're out there working on it as we speak. They started that last week, so that should be wrapping up. They look like they're doing a good job. And Angie Prentice at 212 East Meridian, Chester's reported that they have started work on that. So I haven't seen anything, but
I see absolutely nothing. And they wanted to build porches and rooftops and paint and window, I can't remember, but it was a big project, and I see nothing, and it's the 17th, and she knows that.
they said once they got it going that it would be quick. It was
He's
not going
fast.
to be.
They're all sharing contract, they're jumping from job to job.
There's only so many
So
that show
they,
up.
they said it would be a quick project. It wouldn't take long.
All right.
Pushing it to the end. Of course, now it's not all their fault. Some of it's been materials.
Mhm.
And weather and
Material orders
Yeah.
and horrible.
Okay, and I just wanted to mention, we all know this, but I want to make sure, I can't remember if I told Courtney, that during our workshop last week, we discussed the broken up statues, the dolphins out there and the turtles, and we all agreed to go ahead and remove the dolphins. And that we'll start looking around in some of these magazines that we get, like for playground equipment or something, some kind of statue work that's made of metal, similar to the bike rack, that won't be able to be so easily vandalized, and replace the dolphins first. And Tamara said that the turtles were still in pretty good condition, that they could
they just
stay.
need painted, I believe.
And maybe some more sand around it, cause they're like, one of them's like above ground right now, so maybe just some more filler sand, but aside from paint, they're intact.
Yeah, and the dolphin area, the little landscaped area that they were in is, it's full of, it's pretty
Just
much
looks
grown
like
over with
grass.
weeds and grass, and it's not been, taken care of like it was when it was first installed. Now, we could put the surviving dolphins in the bottom of our retention pond.
That would be cool. Have them jumping out like the dragon.
Yeah. So, and then, World's Smallest Police Station, we talked about that at our workshop last week. And the TDC wants to do a video of that for for advertising. So I asked them to hold off until we go ahead and get the lettering. We have the money in our maintenance budget this year, so Courtney's already contacted Sign Design.
Miss Sabrina had already got a quote from them, and she sent it over to me, and they have to go ahead and
Okay,
start
very
that
good.
job.
Well, let me know so I can tell them to, it's like they're saying, if we can't come over there right now, we're not gonna be able to do that video. And so I've got them kind of on hold for a few minutes. Do you all have anything for Miss Courtney? Okay. Oh, and that bid, was that 667, or what was?
550.
Not bad.
He didn't.
520 for everything.
Okay, that's not bad at all. Very good. Now, Pochi Signs, am I saying that right?
Apogee.
They did it before. Y'all have anything for Miss Courtney? All right, then we'll move to Mr. Hartman, our city attorney's report.
All right, I have none, other than I know we're moving ahead the two meetings on, city meetings on the ordinance. So if anybody has any questions, that is all coming together. We haven't heard a peep from the tax authority or the property appraiser.
All right, and then I just asked Ms. Keisha to re-announce the dates for these public hearings.
For the ordinance, for the CRA expansion is, the first reading will be September 2nd at 6 o'clock at our regular city meeting. And the second reading will be at September 14th at 4:30, and that will be just before our first budget hearing at 4:30, September 14th.
Do y'all have anything for Mr. Hartman or Ms. Keisha? All right, and then we'll move forward to the CRA District Landscape Maintenance Report.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Sorry I wasn't here last time, had things to do, but this time I've been off and on. I've had people helping me because I've had COVID. And so, wasn't able to do it and have my son-in-law and them, but Courtney sent me an email about the post office and the junction and all, everything on that block sprayed.
Okay.
I've already sprayed it. I done I wasn't sure about the manholes, or was it manholes? Not manholes, storm drain.
Yeah.
I knew there was one in front of Jack Inham's place. I cleaned that Sunday.
Okay.
But that's the only one I've seen. I mean, if there's any more, I don't, if somebody knows, just let me know.
Oh, for you to clean?
Yeah,
Okay.
get out of,
Yeah, that was usually the only one that has an issue.
And I got it Sunday.
And our streets and roads guys usually work on those too.
Right, and today I got 2.5 truckloads of limbs. I blowed off from Jackson's to the bank, all of them on both sides, and then Main Street down there at the boat ramp, where they used to feed the cats, blowed all that stuff off. And then 12th Street boat ramp, or the park down there, I done it, blowed it, got it, so. Still got more to do.
Okay. You sound congested.
I'm better now. The 12 days was tough.
And I want to ask you a question, but it's too personal.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, no.
It don't bother me.
But were you vaccinated?
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
But my wife, she's in the hospital and she ain't.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
she's, so,
Oh. Well, send her our regards, and we're glad you're better.
if I wouldn't have been better, I wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
Tough.
Tough, oh my goodness.
Yep, stuff.
Okay, well, thank you for coming out and getting some other folks to help you too as well.
Right.
And I just, I wanted to remind you, I had called because I don't know if you saw it, but they really left a mess of the asphalt down there, downtown.
Yeah.
It was one heck of a mess, and it took a lot of people gathering up together, business owners, and myself and Courtney, finally to get that cleaned up. But as I was down there looking, I noticed that, that there were weeds in the cracks and all over. And in the specifications, it does say to, weeds in all of the little seams of the sidewalks and cracks and here and there throughout the whole district, so.
And I think what was it, Sunday I told you I was going to, I sent you a message.
Friday, you went down Friday and started it.
I went down Friday this
Okay.
part
All right.
and sprayed it all Friday, so it's going to take a little bit. And is it Avenue C? I've sprayed that again. I sprayed it Sunday.
Okay, or B.
The one down by the Harry's Bar by Main Street.
Okay, all right,
I sprayed it Sunday.
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
You terminate your helper Fred. He blew yesterday, but it didn't do any good.
He did. He just blew it one side of the road, didn't he?
You made a bigger mess.
He did.
Oh, me.
But, like I said, if y'all see anything, just let her know and she'll email me and I'll get on it as quick as possible. Other than that, we'll keep on.
Okay, thank you,
All
and
right.
send your wife our best wishes.
All right.
All right, new business, we have none, old business, none, and then we'll move to Inovio Consulting Groups. Mr. Kyle Andre is here with us. Miss Sabrina, I don't know if you've met Kyle.
You're gonna have to use this.
He works with Russell closely. He does a lot of the background work, or, sometimes he'll be out on the side.
You're gonna have to
He's
figure out.
got the brains. So, welcome to our meeting. Good to see you. It's been at least a year.
Yes, good to see everyone. It's been, you weren't on the board or the commission last time I was here, so it's been a little while.
And this is Sabrina Brown, Commissioner.
My name's Kyle Andre, and I'm here for Russell Large with Inovio Consulting Group. I've got 3 projects to update today. The Marine Street revitalization project, and the steps moving forward. Fred Fox Enterprises is coordinating the advertising for professional services currently, and they've also begun the environmental review process, which takes approximately 6 months to be reviewed and approved by the state. And once the environmental review is approved, the project will be let for bidding, and we're anticipating a letting to be February of 2022, with construction to be completed in January, the end of January 2024. The second item is the Southeast Avenue A sidewalk replacement. Plans and requests for bids were sent to 3 contractors in July. We received 1 bid on July 30th from Duggar Excavation for $19,386, and this included the tree removal. There was also an additional request by the property owner if they removed the tree to be $16,886. And at this time, we'd recommend a motion to approve the bid by Duggar Excavation. The third project is the landscape architecture design for the military service flagpoles.
Okay, Mr. Kyle, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
But can we talk about the sidewalk first and
Yeah.
do the motion or whatever? So
Yeah.
you have and you have the bid from Duggar, and Duggar has done work for us before, I'm trying to remember. I think they did the downtown beautification
He
in
just did the
Tallahassee.
drainage right
He did the
here at the,
drainage.
Right.
the
Yeah,
phone
that's
place.
true. And then downtown in Tallahassee, I think
And
they
he
did
did right
that.
here at the dollar store, that drainage.
Okay, all right.
And yes, Tallahassee Street too.
Yeah, a long time ago, in 2010 or 11 or somewhere around in there. Then you've got 19,368, that includes the tree removal, and then 16,868 if they don't have to remove the tree. So Ms. Courtney, can you tell us about this tree removal issue?
I spoke with the property owner last week. He answered the phone as soon as I called, asked him where we were on the tree removal. He said, you're gonna take it down by Wednesday. This following week, it's still there. Now with the property owner, he had agreed to take the tree down, but he did not agree to get the roots removed, so, there may still have to pay somebody to do root removal. But at this time, we've been working with that property owner for months to get that tree taken down, and the tree still hasn't been taken down.
And this tree removal that you have here from Duggar, would that includes the roots as well? That's 2,500.
I'm not sure if it includes the root removal or not, I'd have to check.
Okay.
I believe it was everything that he had to do the project.
And then if, Mr. Hartman, if we go to decide to just go ahead and remove the tree on the CRA board, do we have to get permission to go on that man's property?
I would get permission, and he has in the past agreed to remove it himself, but he's not getting there. Would it be too much to ask him to contribute something to the removal of the tree? Tell him, look, we got some people lined up to do it, and, you know, what was he gonna pay? And if he says, because he may be that his tree guy's just delayed, and say, look, you're gonna spend $1,200 with your tree person, just kick that in and you'll get done and move ahead and give us permission.
I'm looking to see, we had $13,000 in that project, so we're gonna be, I'm just letting y'all know, we're gonna be over budget by
What I was gonna say is, I remembered we only had like 13,000 budgeted for that.
So we'll be over $6,386. We have the money in our maintenance, but of course then there'll be less money that's carried forward and less money that, you know, but we didn't budget all of the money for next year. So, you know, we're not gonna be over budget next year or anything at this point. It'd be just less funding that's carried forward. But we have the money in maintenance to do that.
Mayor, I got a question for Kyle. Kyle, have you looked at that tree?
I have not.
It's a long leaf pine. I could use diameter, but it's about yay big around at the base. And the existing sidewalk is not close. It is right up against. The base of the tree is right up against. It's raised the sidewalk where the base of the tree's at. So it's inevitable the root's gonna have to come out.
Right.
Because you put new sidewalk down, that something underground's gonna have to be dug out of the way, and that's the root, that's the
And
base of the tree.
it's raised to at least a foot.
And I go back to what question I think the mayor just asked, if that would include the price of the removal of that stump.
I was gonna, I'll check on that as soon as I can talk to Russell about it. I'm not sure what he's discussed with the contractors at this point, or.
Russell knows it well, he's looked at it, that's the reason why I asked if you'd had the opportunity to.
Yeah, I didn't work on this one with Russell, that's why I'm a little hesitant to say yes or no.
Okay. But I'm with the mayor, and again, I would think the attorney here is sitting here, he's the legal guy, but get permission from the landowner and kind of move forward. We've been talking about this for a long time, and it's still at a standstill.
I've been 2 years, 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
on it. So, well, now, I'm gonna be like Commissioner Brown. Can we make a motion contingent on this, contingent on that? Or do we need to put it off another month? I would, contingent on the property owner agreeing, because I just don't know if he's going to, I don't think he really wants to put any skin in the game, or he would have done that already. I do believe that.
I'll make a motion, Mayor, that we go ahead and continue with the project for the price quoted by Kyle, the engineer, with the property owner giving us written authorization to do as such, to remove the tree and remove the stump, and verify, have Kyle or Russell verify that the cost that you quoted included the stump removal, all the work necessary to put that sidewalk back appropriately. So I'll make that motion.
I did not get that motion.
Okay, well, I was talking later on, Keisha, but I'll make the motion to go ahead and proceed with the project as described by the engineer at the price quoted, contingent upon written authorization from the property owner, getting written authorization from the property owner to remove the tree.
And verification that the root will be removed at that price that was given.
Yes.
Mhm.
Has anybody done any study to see if there are roots going under the building?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We will certainly leave that to the property owner.
I'll
Well,
second.
See, I'd rather see the building removed than the tree.
It's, well, I'll wait till we get a second.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion by Commissioner Melander to proceed as said with authorization from the property owner and with verification that the roof will be removed at that quote. And that's second by Commissioner Brown. And discussion?
Just one discussion.
Mhm.
And it's not part of the motion, but I agree with the attorney. I would have the CRA Director contact the landowner and advise them, of course, you're gonna need to get authorization to remove the tree if they wanna contribute, since we're going ahead and do it. If they wanna contribute, put a little skin in the game, it's their tree. Since he was gonna remove it, he had verbally committed to remove it on his own. See if he wants to contribute toward the removal of the tree.
And I will say that twice the property owner has been offered up the CRA brochure, the facade grant.
Yeah.
And in that includes landscaping, and he could certainly have a tree removed, and he would only have to pay 20% of that. So, or is it 60-40? I can't, it's 80-20. 80-20. And so, it wouldn't have, it would cost him that much, and he's not interested in a facade grant or site improvement grant. All right, then, we have that discussion. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, and that motion carries. Okay, then, Mr. Kyle, the
Okay.
military flagpoles.
So the final project that we'll discuss today is the landscape architecture design for military service flagpoles memorial at the Veterans Park. The design is currently underway by the landscape architect David Coles, and we are coordinating with Greg on that design.
So somehow, and I don't know how I got it in my hand, it was on my desk, it appeared on my desk. This drawing here, probably,
I have not seen it.
well, can I pass it around for everyone to look at? I don't know if there's been any other communication. Has there, once you all talked about this, he didn't come back with any other. And since Kyle hasn't seen it, maybe you could I'm talking to him, maybe he can describe it a little.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
You want it, Greg?
Well, since you did this, kind of the idea was to come from the area where the little soldiers are, and he drew this up as a large paved area going out to a circle with the 5 flagpoles. Not this star drawn there is just a reference to make it in a star pattern so they're all equally 5 poles separated with the American flag in the center, instead of having it up at the very front where it can get hit by a car again. So that was kind of his concept. We don't want to pass it around. So it's got and that would just be grass all around there. I had told him, budget-wise, probably would be just best to just have one walkway out to there instead of all that. This was supposed to be a bench around that, like a planter bench, but it just depends on how much money it costs.
And then there's one tree that looks sickly, and then there's 2 other trees that,
The 2 pine trees in the middle would have to come out.
oh, 2 pine trees.
And then relocate the one, there's one monument there that has a mason in it, not a mason, woodman. And the woodmen are the ones that actually donated the wall. You look at the back side, there's a plaque for that. He suggested moving it over here, or I was thinking maybe where that bench is or something. Relocate that to somewhere that would be closer to the wall. So it's not a bad idea, a plan. And then you would just and then there's going to be a pentagon-shaped bench in the center where you can sit and look at the flagpole. That was just his first concept.
Who drew these?
David Coles.
Right, the landscape.
Okay.
And then if you'd show that to
I
these
will.
ladies over here and
Pass it.
Cal.
And so while we were discussing the landscaping, I texted Russell.
Okay.
So just wanted to give the board here an update. Stump grinding of the pine tree was to be removed to 12 inches below grade.
All
And that's
right.
included in the bid that was offered by Doug.
Okay, so we got that part, then we just need the authorization from the property owner. I almost felt like asking you to call the property owner right now, but thank you for, and so we'll see here if we want to move forward with this proposal.
Now, does that include taking all 3 of those pines down, Greg?
Just the 2 in the middle. I mean, there's another one that is kind of in an odd spot behind that bench, so don't know.
I looked at it, I knew that there would have to be probably at least 2.
Yeah.
One of them is questionable whether it's gonna survive anyway.
So, and he didn't come up, no cost or anything. He was just given a little concept that they first came up with, so.
So, and the conceptual, which I don't think he's completely finished, but we agreed to pay $1,200 for the conceptual. And do y'all want them to move forward? Do you want Mr. David Coles to move forward with this project, or want to go in a different direction? Or, I mean, there's really, in my opinion, there's nowhere really to put the 5. You've got 5 flagpoles plus the American flagpole. They need to be spread out from each other so when the flags are flying, they don't touch each other.
I like it in the circle.
Okay, and now Greg, you suggested not to have all these pavers, but just one entrance?
Right. It just depending on the cost, and the circle isn't centered in that area. It's more to the north, and that's because there's a power line that runs on the south side there. So you had to move it far enough away from that where the bottom flags wouldn't interfere with that either. So.
And the concept with a circle, in my opinion, may be the best because you're limited on space and how it's strategically located there on the highway. The concept that I actually saw quite a number of months back and brought the subject up years, or not years, several months back, from Mexico Beach. Theirs is not like that. Theirs is with a flagpole with the American flag in the center, but we're kind of limited on space. They had broad space there to work with. And another thing is the alignment of it, so the circular concept might be the best.
Well, and it kind of follows that,
It
that
does.
end is circular, so it kind of,
Right.
you know, follows that.
Yeah.
Pavers would be pervious, so we wouldn't have to worry, you know, about runoff or anything. I mean, we have the flagpoles, so.
It'd be like a mini Mexico Beach.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that we move forward with
okay.
it.
Well, I think what we need is a motion for them to get us, move forward and get a cost estimate.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So
I'll
that's-
second that.
Not
Okay.
quite getting finished, that's good.
Okay, so that motion is by Commissioner Melander to move forward with the project with a cost estimate from the engineer, and that's second by Commissioner Brown. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right. Thank you, Mr. Kyle. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Kyle.
And then we'll move forward to our CRA board projects, which item number one is always item number one, just a quick review of our expense to budget for this year. And and you all got that. The other charges and obligations, I moved money out of that. Now, it's not that way on the year-to-date, but I put it on this expense to budget so we could see exactly what we have in the flagpole project so far. And there's still $1,083 in other charges and obligations, and I want to ask Miranda, you know, what is that? Does that need to be put in another line item? And then also, under promotion, Holiday on the Harbor, I asked her on Monday. I realized that we have not, either we paid it and it was
We
accredited.
did not have it.
We didn't have it.
We didn't have?
We did not, the chamber didn't do Holiday on the Harbor, and so the city agreed not to do the
Okay.
fireworks. And then the business owners came in, and Fathoms and Harry's, and they did Christmas Eve
Christmas Eve.
Carrabelle.
All right,
We
so we
couldn't
did not
get the
do that.
firework guy, we tried to contact him, but he was already booked, so we did not have fireworks.
Okay, thank you. I just couldn't remember. I mean, we have fireworks twice a year. I can't remember when
We
it was.
discussed this yesterday, we went back and forth and said, yes, it was a holiday, but we went back, it was Christmas and
It was
Carrabelle,
just the business
Okay.
and it was
owners
hosted by
tried
the
it.
business owners.
And we didn't want to have a crowd gather up because of COVID. Okay. All right, well, very good then. We have that money is still in the budget, and it will just roll forward, and we're scheduling another $2,500 in the next year's budget to maybe have Holiday on the Harbor fireworks.
Well, we upped it to 5.
I beg your pardon?
We upped it to 5 for.
Yeah, 5,000, okay. All right, and then the next item is, find it here, item 2, discussion and possible action regarding the 2021-2022 CRA budget. And the draft, you all have a copy of that draft, number 3 in front of you. And this is what we worked on and developed at our workshop last Tuesday. And we agreed in principle to it. And so are you all ready to move forward with that and approve that? Or do you have comment? And Courtney wasn't here, does she have comment on that?
Just one question.
Okay,
Wouldn't that be the 2021, 2022?
yes, did I not say that?
Well, I'm looking at it and it
Okay.
says 2020, 2021.
Oh, that needs to be,
Which one? No, that's the line before that. That's
Oh,
last
the top
year's. And then this is gonna be the next year's.
Up here.
And the title, though,
I
the
was just
title.
looking at the title.
Oh, and the title,
I
okay.
noticed that the
The
draft
number
2
3.
wasn't right, but the number 3, but then the 2020, right, that needs to be changed too. But it would be this last column here, this 2021, 2022 budget, right here. And so we have the county portion at 82,000, the city portion of the tax increment revenues at 130,000. The due from the general fund will be 117,798, 67,798 from the general, 50,000 from the CARES Act allocation. And so, and we're estimating our balance forward is 287,000, but it may be a little less now because our sidewalk project has increased by over $6,000, and we don't know yet, but we probably won't get that whole entire flagpole project done this year, but we'll just have to see how that goes. That may change this budget. Landscape maintenance, 35,000. Accounting and audit, 10,000. Training, 1,000. Travel, 1,000. Utilities, 8,000. Liability and errors, insurance, 5,000. Maintenance and repair, 50,000. Advertising, 1,000. Other charges and obligations, 500. Books and publications, membership to the FRA, 1,000. Legal counsel, 3,000. Consulting and contracting services, 3,000. Capital projects, media and website for the CRA, 1,000. Street sign lot cleanup, 50,000. Murals, 20,000. Pole mounted Christmas decorations, 2,500. Okay, no new roof for the water plant as yet, but we're gonna ask about that at the conference. Memorial, military flagpole memorial at Betts Park, 15,000. Facade grant, 8 facade grants up to 16,000 each, 128,000. Old Public Works parking lot cleanup and design, 15,000. We need to talk to Kyle about a couple of things here too. That one. Alley behind the Southeast Avenue B communications broadband cleanup, 20,000. Finish the south, okay, Mr. Kyle, and this would be for you and Russell. We have tentatively, until we motion for it, to finish the southeast portion of, Southeast 9th Street paving, where the FDOT Scott grant is funding an extended portion of 9th Street from 98 out to somewhere in the mid portion of the hilltop there of 9th Street. And the CRA wants to go ahead and fund finishing that down to Gulf Avenue. And we budgeted 110,000.
Okay.
And Courtney and I talked about, we would like for that to happen
And
simultaneously.
if you could go ahead and start design on it, then maybe when they came back to do, it may be too short of time, but when they come back to do the first part of 9th Street, if they could do the second part, because I know Russell said it was, I think it was, got to be done by October.
I believe the scope grant expires in October.
Because we did an extension, because we added on, it was 700 feet that we added on to it.
Right.
And so if we wanted to take it the rest of the way out to Gulf Avenue, then maybe go ahead and start the design on that, because we might could save in mobilization or.
Yep. We'll look into that for sure.
We do have, if it has to be done before October, you know, we could in our September meeting motion to do that project, to add that as a capital project, and then that would not be on our capital projects next year, and it would be done and funded in this year. Is that correct, Courtney?
Yes, and what I'm thinking though is if you could do the design on it, and I'm not sure what the deadline, but I know it's sometime in October, but they make you start the first half under the Scott grant and then finish the second half after October the 1st.
But
as long as they could do them kind of simultaneously and go together.
But I would like the asphalt to be poured all at once, so we don't have a joint there. Okay.
I think the only thing we would need to actually finish design is to extend the survey all the way to Gulf, which wouldn't take too long, and then the design would be easy enough to add on to the other portion. So I'll talk to Russell when I get back.
And then I guess that we could just amend the contract with North Florida Asphalt so that we wouldn't have to put that back out to bid.
I think that's, so there's a
Or
threshold, correct, on whether we have to re-advertise. I'm not sure how that works legally. Since it'd be paid for separately, I'm not sure how that goes.
What is the amount?
25,000.
It's gonna be 125, but if they're already there doing the job, we just
Do a change order.
change order.
Falls under the original scope that was set forth? I mean, is it an true add-on?
Add-on.
But a different entity's paying for it right now.
CRA is leveraging with the Scott grant.
I gotta look at that,
Okay.
and certainly talk to Vonovia. I mean, you guys have seen this type of thing before, right?
Right, I'm
Off the top
not
of your head, yeah.
100% sure of
Let me-
He wasn't
proper
prepared for this.
Yeah.
proper mechanism for this, I'm not sure.
Change order is 20, how much, 26?
No, we don't know.
We don't know we don't know how much it'll be yet.
Okay, and then here's another one certainly coming up, but that has nothing to do, it can be done. But then Courtney and I discussed, can it be done in, it just depends. It's resurfaced Northwest 2nd Street at the library between Highway 98 and Avenue A. It's one block, and we budgeted $50,000 for that, but now that might not be able to be done at the same time, because we would probably, that's a project all in of itself.
I think we need to bid that one,
Okay. All right, so that's gonna have to operate differently.
because there'll be design, design work, not much.
Probably not. I mean, they could probably, asphalt companies could come in and mill it and just resurface it.
There's no drainage issue.
It's just a very short piece.
One block.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a half a block, it's not even.
Yeah, about a half a block.
And then, that left us $54,800 for capital projects to be determined. And then we have promotions, $2,200, $500 for the youth fishing tournament, $500 to the Carrabelle Crawl, $1,200 to the Riverfront Festival, and then $5,000 for fireworks at Holiday on the Harbor this year in December. And then we set aside $25,000 this year for the Marine Street renovation CDBG project, just as a match. And then next year, we've agreed in principle that once we get a better understanding what that project's gonna cost, if we need to match that with more of the CRA does, then we'll address that in next year's budget. So that's a total of budget of $617,000. And do we want to approve that for recommendation? Approve, disapprove draft number 3, 2021-2022 CRA budget for recommendation to the City Commission.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
And I have that in writing, Ms. Keisha, and that's a motion by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Miller. Is there any discussion? I will say that I will reach out to the county to let them know that we're going to resurface that street there in front of the library in the event that they want to join in somehow and get their parking resurfaced as well during that project. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, which they did not reach out to us for the downtown, and they left the parking undone. So, anyway.
Yeah, the other thought with going in line with that is, if we have to bid it, of course we'll have to bid it, as the attorney said, but it may fall in line with the resurfacing of Timber Island Road. And that contractor may be willing to do that little short piece without a deployment.
Yeah, but we would have to bid it.
We'd have to bid it, but they may be able to give us the best price they'll need here.
Mhm. Okay, is there any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, does anyone have any other items? We have other items brought forth by the CRA board members. Does anyone have anything else? Okay, I have one thing. I just want to tell you that I communicated with Bert Bolt last Friday about the paving downtown. And he said he finally had told the people from the businesses downtown who also called him about the cleanup. He said that that was not his project, that was the commissioner before him, but he understands that we expect him to follow up on that project. So and I had already spoke to him early last week that I was disappointed that he didn't have someone from the county or himself reach out and let us know that they had not intended on paving the aprons downtown, the parking spaces. They actually had not even intended on painting the parking spaces, extending. They have not. None of that is in their budget. And so I said, you know, had y'all communicated CRA or our log account, we could have leveraged the money with you all and joined in on that project. So there's been such amount of complaints from the downtown businesses to the commissioner that he's got Mark Currington reaching out to the FDOT to see if they have some extra funds somewhere to come back and pave the parking and strike the parking like it was. I mean, they just came and paved over our parking spaces and didn't paint back. And I believe that was our project in the first place, the downtown rebeautification that Dover did back in 2010, 11. And so we'll see what comes out of it. And then I just wanted to tell y'all our next meeting is September the 21st, 2021 at 1:30. Is there anything else? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Do we have a second for that motion to Brown? Okay. That's Millender and Brown, motion to adjourn. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries. And thank you for coming so quickly, Commissioner Allen.
As quick as I could.
Okay.